We have taken a brief look at conditional formatting in another unit. I want to go into it in a little bit more depth in this last video of this unit. Here we have something along the lines of what we're going to create. Here is, again, another kind of grade book, but this would work with any numbers. If you're looking at income or you're looking at sales, it's all pretty much the same idea. But I'm sticking with a grade book because, teacher here. This is what we have. We have something here and we have something here. Let me show you what happens. I'm going to change this 93 to a 70. And it changed the formatting. That's what conditional formatting does. It automatically changes formats based off of some criteria that you set. Let me change this 70 to a failing grade of a 40 and see what happens. And see, there you go. So I have some sort of something set where if it's an B or an A, they're going to be green. If they're getting a C, it's just plain old. But if they're failing, it gets really red and really visible for me to see. And that's all done automatically. I'm going to wipe out all this formatting and we're going to take a look at how we apply it. I wound up removing the formatting, which I'll show you how to do at the end of this video. But before we talked about removing it, I want to show you how to create it. I am going to select quizzes 1 through 4, and I'm going to highlight all of this. Now, I'm a teacher, and I want to know at a glance if I have a student who didn't do well. I don't want to have to go hunt down all the D's and all the F's. I want to be able to see, by taking a quick look at it, what's going on. And as a teacher, I've had grade books with over 100 to 200 students in it, and believe me, you don't want to have to go hunting all around. You want a quick method of seeing all this stuff. If you're doing accounting, you're going to have maybe hundreds, if not thousands of rows of data. So this really helps you find this information quickly. So highlight what you're looking at, go to your Home tab, and over here is conditional formatting. There are some pre-built things that you can put in here, greater than, less than, between, yada, yada, yada. You have some other stuff that you can use. I personally like to jump right to the powerful stuff. I like to jump right to the new rules. I'm going to click on that. And I want to be able to see if a student is getting a B or above. So for that, I'm going to click on Format Only Cells That Contain. I'm looking at the cell value, and I want them greater than or equal to 80. 80 is your typical B and above. Type in 80. And I'm going to click on Format because I want to add formatting to this, because right now nothing's going to happen. If I click OK, there's no format change. So I'm going to click on Format, and I get all of these options. I can change the font, I can change the borders, I can add fill. So let's do a nice fill. We'll put green, and we'll change the font. Black on green might not look so good, so we'll do white text on a green black background. And so here we go. Let's click OK. There's our preview. I'm going to click OK. And any grade higher than an 80 is automatically has that format applied to it. So here's a 40. Let's type in an 80. Hit Enter. And there we go. This is an 83. We'll type it as 79.5. See what happens. And it's gone because it doesn't meet that number. I also now want to add something that gives me a bright red warning when somebody's failing. So I'm going to highlight that stuff again, go back up to conditional formatting. I could go to new rules and add a new rule, but I'd rather go down here to manage rules. This is the rule that's currently applied. I'm going to click on a new rule, back to our format only cells that contain. As you can see, there's a whole lot of options here. So you can actually take a course just in conditional formatting. Those exist. So there we go. We're going to click that one. And I want to go less than or equal to 60 is typically the tipping point for a failing grade. I'm going to play with the format. I want the fill to be red. I want the font to stand out. So we'll do white again. We'll do red on red. That'll work great, right? So we'll do white on red. We'll click OK. This is a preview. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to click OK. Now we have these two rules applied to this area. I'm going to click OK. And there we go. Let's put in 60.5 just to see what happens. See, it disappears because it's 60 or less than 60. So that doesn't meet the criteria. Let's type in 61. It should stay the same. Let's type in 80. And as you see, we have all those different changes. It automatically applies those formatting to the conditions that are met. Now over here, I'm going to show you a different way to do it as well. Here we have a final grade. Let me scoot this over. I'm going to highlight the final grade. I'm going to go to conditional formatting. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to, let's see, right here, we're going to go to above average. We're going to click on that. Above average should be good, so we'll do green. There's our above average. I'm going to highlight it again, and I'm going to add another condition to it. So I'm going to click on it, drop down, and I want to click on below average, and this should be red, so it's good to go as is. I'm going to click OK. And as you can see, formatting has already been applied. Let's take this person and drop them down. Let's give them a 0. That really bombs a grade. And as you see, the color just changed. But what does it look like in the back end? Let's highlight this again. Go to conditional formatting and go to manage rules. And you can see that it applied both of those rules to that area. So those are two different ways that you can apply conditional formatting. It is very, very helpful to do, and it saves you time in the end. Personally, I like to go and make the new rule and do more hands-on than use the default, but you do whatever works best for you. Now, I also said I would show you how to remove the formatting. So I will highlight this. Let's scoot over a little bit more. I'm going to go to conditional formatting, click on that. And down here is clear rules. Like we had before, we can either remove all of this or just what I selected. In this case, I just want to remove the rules from the selected cells. I'm going to click on that, and that formatting is now gone. It's zip 0, no longer there. All right, that's going to conclude Unit 8. We learned a lot about just making our data look better, organizing it better, having it more summarized, easier to just work with in a quicker way. Folks, you are almost done. You have one more unit left, and that's printing. Hang in there, go back through all of the material. I know I sound like a broken record, or I'm beating the dead horse, or any other cliches that you want to have. But if you haven't signed up for your Microsoft Office certification exam, seriously consider doing it. Until later, have fun studying out there, and goodbye for now.